rap industry, for example, often glorifies depraved behavior, and that sinks into the minds of some young people. There is no question that dubious music and movies are affecting unsupervised children of all colors. The hip-hop industry makes billions putting out stuff like this.
Keep on it, Josh. I'm a motherfucking outlaw. They say I'm bad for the city. I got them mad and I'm litty. Arthur Fleck up in this bit up, I'm tatted and pretty. Not a local joker out here that be rapping for pity. Just know I'm strapped with the 50, cause now I'm out, dog. I'm done with record labels trying to tell me how to do it. Why the fuck I take advice from people who don't make no music? If you never done a show, stop it. You be sounding stupid. No, I'm about to lose it. Heard them say I'm a misogynist who? You a closeted dude. One night, 3 checks, I deposited 2. Walk up in your house, bare face, I don't wear dumb ass. Uzi in the jacuzzi, now that's a bloodbath. Damn, when your girl have a lot of plans, know the rolls in her mouth like a salsa dance. So disgusting for you. No discussing, get the bustin', that's what Dustin would do. You can quit with all that bitchin', dog. I'm not no politician, just a goddamn musician. Loaded up with ammunition, got the crowd going dumb. Shows rocking at the city, but remember one thing when you talking about the city. No, I'm bad for it. No, I'm bad for it. No, I'm bad for it. In the city, got them saying that I'm bad for it. That I'm bad for it. That I'm bad for it. If you talking about the city, no, I'm bad for it. No, I'm bad for it. No, I'm bad for it. Everything I'm gonna give them, know they ask for it. Know they ask for it. Bro, you ask for it. In the city, got them saying that I'm bad for it. That I'm bad for it. That boy, you ask for it. In the city, I'm a motherfucking outlaw. I don't kiss no ass. If you want it with the kid, know that this your chance. Got the world on my dick, keep your girly fed and fixed up. I give a damn about a curly-headed rich fuck. Acting like you run shit, dog, I ain't the one to bullet. Go buy a semi-automatic, bet I buy the fully. Bang, and leave you totally flat. If I see you out in public, I might overreact. Don't be talking like my friend, don't be saying you my boss. Tell me how the fuck I won a whole crowd, still lost. What? You yelled when the gun came near. Couldn't hear you, kept shooting, blame my untrained ear. Bitch, talk shit, you ain't speaking the facts. No, I done sets where you wouldn't sneak in the back. All my cold shows roll, go hype man. So tell me how you stay woke in an all-white band. I know I'm bad for it. No, I'm bad for it. No, I'm bad for it. In the city, got them saying that I'm bad for it. That I'm bad for it. That I'm bad for it. If you talking about the city, no, I'm bad for it. No, I'm bad for it. No, I'm bad for it. Everything I'm gonna give them, know they ask for it. Know they ask for it. Bro, you ask for it. In the city, got them saying that I'm bad for it. That I'm bad for it. That I'm bad for it. If you talking about the city, no, I'm bad for it. No, I'm bad for it. No, I'm bad for it. Everything I'm gonna give them, know they ask for it. Know they ask for it. Bro, you ask for it. In the city, got them saying that I'm bad for it. That I'm bad for it. That I'm bad for it. In the city, got them saying that I'm bad for it.
Singing.
Welcome to Optimistic Talk Radio. This is D. Will. You already know my face is in the place.
He did call that time out.
With 3 other faces in the place, with someone actually talking about football on a talk radio show.
What is our director of this show? What he got going on?
All right. So I'd like to welcome y'all. How y'all doing today?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Lovely, doing lovely.
You doing what?
Lovely.
Oh, oh, God, good segue.
All right. So y'all know, another day, another dollar, another show, and we still continuing to grow. All right. So today we have
Let me
a
see
very
me a
special
text
guest.
message after this, brother. Oh, you've been fired. Let me go on and tell him.
Hey, man, you gonna let me introduce my guest?
You've been fired.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and introduce our guest now. I'd like to introduce.
He been fired.
Okay. Is everything okay there, sir? Okay.
I don't think we can hear you.
Q. Q having difficulties over there. He talking to the TV or you.
You been fired. There it is.
Yeah, he can't hear you. He think it's us, but it's him.
Okay. Well, once again, like I said, I would like to introduce.
He can't hear us. What you mean he can't hear us?
Can you hear him?
I ain't hear he said that. He said
he been talking. You've been talking over him.
When he said anything.
Okay. We're
Tell
back.
him to speak now.
Look, we're about to remix it. We're going to remix it. Welcome to Optimistic Talk Radio, y'all. I'm D. Will. You know, we got the normal crew with us. It's another day, another dollar,
I know I ain't
another
deaf now.
show,
I know
another
I'm deaf, but I
opportunity to
ain't
grow.
deaf now. I know what he said.
Okay,
Do we have a translator or something?
this what I'm have to do. Oh, hold on one second.
Q, you are talking over D.
Well, I have to go ahead and mute him for a second. We'll bring him back in a minute.
We knew you
Okay.
over.
I want to go ahead and introduce our guest today. I'm going to pull her up on the screen for everyone to see. She's going to she's going to be in our discussion with the crew today.
Hello.
Okay, this is
Welcome.
Miss Matilda. Miss Matilda, also known as Matilda Adams. How are you doing today, Miss Matilda?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here. Just listening to you guys and just ready to meet and just say what I got to say and hope you guys like me and hope we have a great time. Most importantly, a great time.
A great time. Let's do it.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so she's going to be in on the discussion. We're going to try to bring Q back, and hopefully we can get the communication right with everything going on with what we're trying to do. So before we get into our discussion today, I would like to shout out our sponsors. Our sponsors are YLK Solutions, the Lashgasm Experience, and Evolution Growth Oil. And with Evolution Growth Oil, they are one of our newest sponsors, and I'm gonna be testing the growth oil that I use on my beard, but it's also for men and women, and we'll dive into that a little bit further. I mean, soon. But like I said, more about Miss Matilda. You're gonna see her tomorrow on Before the Vision. She'll be telling you more about her. And for those that are watching and listening, she has a podcast that's coming soon that's called Face, Ass, and Intelligence. And without getting to it and giving a whole lot about that, Miss Matilda, you want to kind of discuss what that means?
Well, we all know, we all grown. We know that now in this current world we're living in, a lot revolves around sex, right? Then you have faces. So, but it's deeper than just face and ass. You have to have some kind of brains, definitely for others to gravitate towards you and for you to have some kind of like a platform, especially if you have goals in mind. It definitely, you need that intelligence. You don't want to just have all tail and no head, right? So it's just kind of one of those things I want to go in depth with and just kind of just get it out there that it doesn't have to just be one way. You can get the word out other ways as well.
Okay. And like I said, we don't want you to go any further, but like I say, this is our very special guest. She's here with us, and we want to make sure that she dive into this discussion. And a point of discussion will actually be a part of what her purpose is. And like I said, we'll go ahead and dive into it. But before we start, the first question today, we're going to go ahead and bring it up on the screen so everyone can see what we're going to discuss first. Does having a standard or a moral still account for anything in the Black community? Now, before anyone answer that question, we're going to play a video, which we always do on this show. And this video is actually kind of giving the definition of standards and morals together. And once we kind of deep dive into that, we'll start giving what we feel about standards and morals in the Black community. So before anybody dive into that, we'll be right back. You are tuned in to Optimistic Talk Radio.
Hey guys, I'm coming at you today with 3 reasons why social media should and should not be censored. If you're preparing for any of the prestigious judicial service exams, essays and short notes are a big part of it, and we are coming at you with these quickies, so by the end of the year, by the end of your preparation, you've seen multiple of these, and it will keep you updated and ready to go. So, let's get started. Most of us have seen internet go from a sad dial-up connection, which sounded something like this, to an age of ubiquitous internet and social connectivity and social media, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, there's so much to choose from. Even though most of the people go on Instagram to look for funny internet memes, sometimes social media does something extraordinary by bringing people and citizens together in the face of adversity or oppression or a despotic regime. So the question remains, what should be the extent of censorship of social media? Let's start by looking at 3 reasons why social media should not be censored. Number 1, because we are a democracy and not a dictatorship. Authoritarian governments often shut down social networks. In fact, it is one of the hallmarks of a despotic regime to clamp down. Number 2, because it spurs dissent, and that spurs progress. Dissent is the lifeblood of any democracy, and it is because that non-performing governments are voted out of power. So that is an essential feature of social media. Number 3, because it tremendously aids in rescue and rehabilitation in times of natural disasters. Rescue services increasingly rely on social media for real-time updates and round-the-clock information. Any such clamping down of social media would simply cost lives. Now on the flip side of the coin, 3 reasons why social media should be censored. Number 1, reputational damage to individuals. It takes years, if not decades, for people to make their reputation in society, and it can take hours or minutes on social media for that hard-earned reputation to be destroyed by some untrue meme or a false article. And that is why social media sometimes should be censored or curtailed. Number 2, because it can fan the flames of communalism or other such social vices. Now, due to no regulation on the internet, any and all of the content is freely distributed without any fact-checking. This can sometimes lead to, unfortunately, mob violence, which is why it is essential to keep social media in check at times. Number 3, terrorism. Terrorists these days increasingly use social media and internet to spread their hate and also to do recruitment of young impressionable youth. Again, because of which it becomes essential for the governments to check social media. Our solution: freedom of speech under Article 19 Clause 1 Subclause A is not absolute but qualified by Article 19 Clause 2. That gives the government the power to regulate, but such regulation should not be overboard and should not tread into absolute censorship. For example, ban the hate-mongering and terrorism sites, but let the memes on our favorite politicians stay.
All right, I want to apologize. I actually brought up the wrong question. The wrong video for the wrong question. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this question first. Should there be no censorship in social media? So we watched the video. Who want to kick this discussion off?
Ladies. Ladies. Anything you want to imply?
Guys, you guys take it over. Let's see what y'all have to say about this.
Well, you look. I go ahead. Dive in. Okay. I believe that it should, to a certain extent, and that's the reason why I have our guest. The guest that we have today. I actually wanted to get her insight on this. I think there should be censorship to an extent because of our kids watching. And I'm saying, as a parent,
Yes.
that's the only reason why I feel like censorship should be there should be censorship in social media. So, Ms. Matilda, how do you feel about that?
I definitely agree with that. That's my main thing with business that I'm in, which is the adult entertainment business. I do believe that that's the overall goal, is just protecting the kids. And I think that's protecting the kids from media. And I think it starts in the home with that, So, and that's my main thing. The censorship for the kids is a must, and I do believe that parents have to buckle down on that because anything goes if you do not put up parental control on anything. So, and kids are smart these days, so I definitely believe that censorship for kids is a must in social media.
I believe it's for all, not just kids, adults
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You find more adults with a mindset of walking into a store, walking into a outlet, walking into a Walmart, looking up certain things online. So it's just not just for us the censorship of sexuality. It's also the censorship of a lot of things that you can look up on the internet. So I think it's for pretty much for both, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Holly, Mo,
I agree with you guys. I think that agree with you, Q, that it's more than just the sexual aspect of it.
Hmm.
Um, it's a lot going on in this world. It's because of the things that we see. It's because of the things that we try to mimic and copy and do like everybody else. So yeah, I think it should be some type of censorship on something. And
Hmm.
I do agree that there should be parental controls. Like kids don't need to see the things that they're seeing that I'm able to see. Like all this influence is too much influence on everyone. Like I would rather just go back to the simpler days when we really didn't have any social media, to be honest.
You know
oh,
what,
Lord.
Holly?
Yeah.
I don't believe we'd be able to survive that. If we went back to it, I think the world would like totally change.
What's
I,
wrong with change?
I mean, wait a minute. What you mean we survived our way to this point? What? I mean, I'm confused on this statement, sir.
well, you got to think about the new age. We're old school. I mean, without putting our age, like you said, they haven't experienced that. So that's just like having a power outage. Like for those that have actually been in a power outage, it's like a state of like your whole world coming to an end. You can't check certain things, do certain things. I think for the new age, the new generation, they wouldn't survive that
They
because
be
that's
all
what they
right.
grew up on.
They be all right. They need to go
Even
outside.
beyond them, like we've all been conditioned to rely on technology and to rely on. We get our news from social media. We get recipes from social media. We get fashion and everything, gossip. Everything is from social media now. So like we've all been conditioned. It's not just the younger generation.
But what about books? I mean, we still have books, y'all. We still have the news outlet from the television. I mean, ain't nothing changed on it, not that I know of.
Well, I mean, that's still a form of social media. But the thing is, like you said, you will limit the access to it. So, I mean, I guess that would be more of a form of censorship if you really look
Hmm.
at it. Like, we would survive because we lived it. I'm just saying for I don't want to get into the Gen Z or Gen Y, Gen Z or whatever. I just don't believe that they will be able um, to cope with it. Like you said, we believe that they will be okay. I mean, we just saying it, but I like think about it. Like having that easier access can make things flow smoother, in my opinion.
Yeah, but look at
You
the
know.
difficulties it causes if you give it to them easier. They you don't know how to function when something is if it's too easy. You're not gonna know how to function when things are of hard. Take a step back. So you know, I believe they'll be all right. Let them go outside and run around that pole like we used to run. Let them go outside and get some fresh air. It's not. I mean, that's including adults because adults stay on social media. More than like kids may be on YouTube or some of these little channels they be on. But you find mostly adults. Social media wise, they got more platforms. Most of these people wouldn't be who they are without social media. Truthfully, now they may not survive. They may have to go find them a regular 9 to 5 job because then they're not getting them 6 figures. But I mean, for us, I don't think it'd be bad as you make it seem. It just me. I don't believe so.
Well, I mean, I was about to actually. I'm gonna catch what you said too. Thinking about what we talking about. Um, a lot of people on social media being who they not. So I mean, I mean that would be a benefit of you know the censorship part. I mean, people can't be who they're not. But I mean, I believe, and I'll stand on that side of believing that censorship shouldn't be. I don't think social media should be censored for the sake of the conversation, because I think that could go both ways.
Yeah. What Mo? What is your thoughts? I haven't heard Mo yet. What is her thoughts? Did she hide? Is she there?
I think she's checking on the baby.
Oh, okay. As I mean, that's a man. It can go a long ways, but it just more than just. You have to understand a lot of things flow through social media, not just from the sexual standpoint, but you got to look at videos. You see murders on social media that no one really see. I mean, you see a lot of things on social media that we was actually kept from. Truthfully, I mean, you find people looking up how to blow a bomb up on social media. I hate to say it like that, but that's what they're doing. It has to be some form of censorship at some point, dealing with the aspects of things that can cause harm. Not just I know we look at it from the sexual standpoint, but what about, these guys who they find going into these outlet malls, these Walmarts, and they find out later on they was on, looking up how to, certain type of gun or certain type of bullet or how to make a bomb or best way to, to infiltrate anything. So I think it just, I think I know there are stipulations, but I think we need to tighten up on some things.
I mean, would y'all agree it could be a gift and a curse, or do y'all think it's
Yes.
just really? Oh, okay. Who said that?
Matilda.
Okay, you say you believe it's a gift and a curse.
I need $10.
Yes, I believe so.
And what make you say that?
Because it kind of goes back with like us not having social media, but we were able to cope, and we lived. The 90s was pretty good, just going outside, going, with our friends, going to the mall, so to speak. um that was a blessing, but the curse is now it's kind of like it takes away from the true nature of yourself. How you have to use it and not let it use you, so to speak. Basically, that's what it is.
I
And
mean,
when
do
you
y'all?
use it in a certain sense, you have to know exactly what you're doing, like your why, or why are you doing it, or what is the benefit of it.
Hmm. I think everybody in society, like especially now, we all about convenient. Like we want it now. We can't wait for it. I mean, if you go back to the good old days, you know what I'm saying? You didn't meet certain people. You wasn't exposed to certain people. Like you didn't even get to learn a lot about other cultures, you know, within that. And like I said, I think social media presents that. So if it was censored, how would it be censored? Would you only be able to get information within a certain demographic, a demographical area? I mean, how would that go? I just don't believe that if you censored it, which it is, I just don't think it would be fair for all cultures, because we already know we don't even have to jump into that. But um, some people are censored and some are not. And I think that's the part about the censorship. If you're gonna censor it, it should be censored all the way around, not just censored to certain people.
Well, we're not saying censorship. We just censor to certain things. We understand.
Content, yeah,
Yeah,
censoring content.
we're not saying it's censored to certain people. We're saying it's censored to certain avenues that you can go in. That's what we're implying.
I mean, do you guys think that violence should be censored?
I believe
The
so.
extent of violence?
I believe I'm with you. I agree on that. I
But
do.
then how will we stay informed?
Well, when I mean by that, like you can inform me that someone got shot at the typical news. There was a shooting at such and such such. Such. But when it comes to showing me the video or showing someone the video how little Tyrone, a little boo boo got shot, a lot of people aren't ready there because some people didn't grow up in that type of environment and it's not able to handle that situation, and then some people, take that, idea how little boo-boo got handled and implement it in their own mind and go do the same way. I mean, it's ways around. It's like the regular news. Y'all remember the news back in the day? We know somebody got shot, but we didn't see the video of them actually getting shot.
Hey, Q, Lil Boo a gangster? Who is Lil Boo Boo, man?
Well, everybody know little boo-boo from the block. If you ain't
I
had
thought
little,
you was making that up.
everybody know little
Okay.
boo-boo from the block, man.
That's a Port City native. Yes or no?
Yeah, little boo. He from the hood where it's all good.
Okay.
He from the hood where it's all good.
Okay, so I think like with that, with this particular question, it is broad, but I think it is something kind of good to talk to. I think it probably would have been good to have someone in that younger generation actually talk and discuss so they have a full understanding. Because like I think we all kind of looking at it from our perspective, and we're more in what Generation X era. So I guess it would be harder. Like when we were getting in college, that's when the evolution of the internet actually came. We actually got in college. So, I just love to hear the thoughts from the younger audience. So for those that are watching, maybe Generation Y, Gen Z, or whatever you want to call it, please comment. Tell us what you feel. Do you feel that social media should be censored, or there should be any type of censorship in social media? So we're gonna go ahead and deep dive into the second question. Like I said, I want to send a special shout out to Mo. You know what I'm saying? One of our babies ain't feeling the best today, so y'all may not hear Mo as much today, but she's still here, still spirited, and I'm pretty sure she gonna give it to us soon. So, before we get into this next question, which I actually posed at the beginning, we're gonna bring it back up.
Is the microphone being a gremlin again? What's going on over there, D?
It does seem like it. Hold on one second. Okay, do we hear it now? Okay, we don't hear it now. So look, before we get into this discussion, the question is, does having a standard of morals still account for anything in the black community? Before y'all answer that question, we're going to actually watch this video. And prior to this other question, I was saying that this is just more of a definition. So it's not defined in our culture. It's just more of a definition. I feel like once we get this definition, we can go ahead and go in it for those that may not understand or have an understanding. So this, y'all are tuned in to Optimistic Talk Radio. We'll be right back.
Rules in society. From the "don't talk when your mouth is full" of dining etiquette, to the subject-verb agreement of language grammar, and the no hitting below the belt of sports, rules are everywhere. Rules exist to give order and maintain peace in society. But one of the most important rules that all of us have to follow, to ensure everyone's well-being, is what is called moral standard. But what is a moral standard? What makes it more important than other kinds of rules, or what are also called non-moral standards? Basically, a moral standard is a norm which a society or an individual has regarding which actions are morally right and which actions are morally wrong. To further explain what moral standards are, here are 5 points. Number 1. Unlike other rules, moral standards deal with matters that can seriously harm or benefit human beings. Matters such as theft, rape, murder, etc. Number 2. The validity of moral standards depends on the sufficiency of the reasons that support and justify them. This means that the value and authority of moral standards are not merely based on the decision of the majority or of the authorities, but rather on their soundness. For example, that one ought to tell the truth does not depend on how many people will vote on it, nor on the legislature, but rather because it is the sound and right thing to do. Number 3. Moral standards are to be preferred over other values. Even self-interest. Being honest, for instance, is to be preferred over cheating. Although cheating can help me graduate. Number 4. Moral standards are based on impartial or unbiased considerations. They are universalizable, meaning they can be applied to most, if not all situations, and to anybody, regardless of their age, gender, race, etc. And number 5. Moral standards are associated with special, usually strong emotions, such as guilt, shame, remorse, praise, etc. Killing, for example, can make a person feel deep and serious guilt and regret, while saving the life of another makes one feel proud and praiseworthy.
All right. So once again, I'll pose this question. We're going to go ahead and open up the floor for discussion. Does having a standard or a moral still account for anything in the Black community? And once again, like I say, that video is not concentrated strictly on the Black community. We just wanted to make sure we opened up this, the dialogue for the standard and morals. So let's go ahead and get it started.
Can you give me the clips notes from that video? Because that was like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I couldn't follow him.
I know,
Anybody want to tell me?
trying to get the information like for that, it's hard to find it when we basically, when we kind of just trying to generalize it. But yeah, I got you, Holly. All right, so the question's up there. Would anyone like to deep dive into this question?
Okay, so honestly, I don't know what the video was talking about along with them, but no, there are no morals or standards left in the Black community. And the less morals you have, the more lit, as the young people say, you are, in my opinion.
Elaborate, Mo. What do you mean? Like, why do you say that there are no more morals, standards, or morals? The video
Everybody
was talking
that's
about moral standards.
anybody in our culture right now, in my opinion, or I won't say they have no morals, but they're perceived to not have any morals. They're talking about everything that's supposed to be like not openly discussed. Like, well, I don't want to hear about your body parts every day. I don't want to hear about your sex life every day. Like, if you turn on the TV for us, is uh the love and the hip hops, the real housewives. The more you fight and downgrade the next person and belittle the next person, and it's just all over the place. Nothing is the classy women or the people that had morals that we had look up to, you and I, in our time coming up, the Felicia Rashads, the Halle Berrys, we don't have our kids are looking up to the Sexy Reds and the Lottos and the all the other people. All the people that portray no morals. But in honesty, they probably do have morals when they're not in character.
Oh, that was deep.
Yeah, it was.
Anyone else?
Right. Yeah, I can piggyback off her. Yeah, it all it depends on the person. You know, with morals and standards is either gonna be high, low, or indifferent. And then you have that thing such as feelings, So I feel like you can contribute to a community, and you can sometimes, we dealing with people that lives double life. And sometimes we deal with people that has a balanced lifestyle. You can deal with the community, and you can have your other little lifestyle on the side. It's all how you balance and how you perceive by others. People gonna look at. I'll tell people, don't do what I say. I mean, don't do what I do. Do what I say. Because I've lived. I'm living based off my experiences and what moves me. And what I do is calculated. And it has been strategic. A lot don't understand, but I will go more in detail with that. But I do believe that standards, morals is all about how the person is perceived about them, because some people are moved by them. We don't understand unless it's, it depends on the person. Because things, it evolves and it depends on the person. Mm-hmm.
Wow. I get
Y'all
it.
go ahead.
I definitely get it.
I can
the
say
way I
more
feel
now.
about it, like I said, I can see it both ways. And
Mm-hmm.
like Mo said, I mean, that's all we see now. Like in the black community, like we still are, like we're trendsetters. Um, we're content creators in everything we do, but a lot of it is not positive. Like I mean, talking about going to Pound Town and stuff like that. I mean, I, I get that person, I guess that Sexy Red, she's doing what she got to do to get where she's trying to go. So she's putting
Mm-hmm.
out a different type of aspect for herself, which may not reflect good on our culture as a whole, but it not looking good on our culture is opinionated,
Mm-hmm.
because once again, I keep going back to the younger generation. It's like that kind of like relates with them. I don't understand it, but then again, I don't want to judge it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, everybody go do what they got to do to get where they want to go in life, regardless of what it is. It's like that. We can't change that, and like, who are we to judge when it comes to that?
All right.
No, we can't judge. I definitely agree with that. We're not judging, but no,
Mm-hmm.
we shouldn't judge, and I don't judge. I'm just answering the question is how I perceive it. No, there are no morals.
I agree. 100%. I'm with you. That's why I
Yeah.
said I have to agree with you with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like 100%.
I should what judge?
No, I said I agree with you
No, no,
100%.
no. Q saying he disagree with no. I hear you. We on the same page, but Q saying he disagree and that I should be judging. Why I should be judging?
Oh wow, I didn't hear that. Do tell, Q. Do tell. You are that guy. Remember?
I missed that whole segment, so y'all have to
Yeah,
fill
it was
me
about
in.
censorship. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry,
To a
y'all.
certain extent based off of censorship, right? So we're basing judgment, but we're basing trying to judge in a sense of a righteous way of doing things. If you look at our culture, it ain't just influence just younger generation. It's an adults, influence adults too. And yet you have the right to judge. You have the right to whether you want to believe this or not. Now we can go in the Bible. I can get your Bible. You go to Mark the 7th chapter, look at 24 verse. It says judge righteously. It ain't say judge that, when you doing something and I'm doing the same thing you doing, having the same stein in your eye, and I got the same stein in mine, but I'm trying to tell you something. That's not judge. That's judge wrong, or very grudgingly, I should say. But when it comes to righteous judgment, you judge in a righteous manner. I kept asking for the definition of a moral and a standard because I want to know before I gave my statement. That's why I kept saying, give me the definition of it. Because as a culture, our culture, I can't speak for the others. I'm not in the others. I'm only in ours. Ours are influenced by anything. I do agree with Mo on that. It is influenced by anything. You have a young lady saying she's been tell young girls to be toxic in their 20s. But by the time you get to your 30s, then you should stop that. You can't stop being something. And all of a sudden, it don't work like that. You have to mature out of that. You're not telling young girls to be the best you can be, whatever endeavor you try to be in, be the best at it. But you encourage girls to be toxic. That's an influence. Yeah, I got the right to judge you. Tell you now, you ain't tell my child not going to fall for all that. Do you have a
But is
young?
that judgment or is it correction?
No, that's judgment. Because in order to make a correction, I got to see if it's right or wrong. Because you don't
So
when you
you're making a
correct.
decision on whether it's right or wrong, and if you want to correct that person or influence their behavior from negative to positive.
That's what we are. That's what judgment pretty much is, right? If a person makes a mistake towards you, you're gonna judge off their mistake, whether it's right or wrong, according to how it was perceived to you, correct? Then you base your next decision off of the influence on how did it affect you, correct? See, we got this judgment thing wrong. We feel like because a person doing something, oh, it's all good. I can't knock yours. Yeah, I can knock your hustle. Because y'all don't understand this. This is why we're where we at right now. Because we feel like we could turn a blind eye and just be cool to it. And that's why we having a discussion about its morals and standards, because we don't have any. Because if we did, we'll stand up. Mo made a very valid point on something, and I'm gonna step. I wanted to praise her so much for that. When she brought up Felicia Rashad, I thought about Bill. We know about Bill's situation. You know, we R. Kelly Bill. Yeah, I know how that go. But it's true that we don't see that you can be a black doctor. You see it more now out in the open. You may say they got the little content, but when we came up, it was an inspiration to be a doctor or a lawyer, you know, or something to that magnitude. Now you don't see that. Yeah, we have the right to judge. Yeah, you have the right because you're not gonna let no clown come into your house, especially if they're doing criminal activity. You're passing judgment on that. So it's you judge in the righteous manner to protect not only just you, but your others in your community, because the influence is really killing us. Black culture is really hurting us. I'm just being honest with y'all.
Has it always been that way, or is it something that we're starting to see more of now?
Uh, mm, that's a good question. I mean, my opinion, has it always been that way? No. Has it just started occurring within the last 10 years or so? Yeah. We're accepting anything, but don't want to say anything unless it affects your household. That's how we feel. As long as it affects mine, I'm cool. But you don't realize it will affect yours.
That's true. That you said that. You said a lot right there. I agree. I think it's always been like that, Q. I'm just be honest with you. Like, you know, like when you have like drug dealers, you know, in your neighborhood, you know, you selling drugs and you bring down your own people, but it's not looked like this person go to jail or something. You know, that person actually looked at as a hero. You know what I'm saying? It is not really being looked at for what that person actually did. But you know, the thing we look at and we magnify. Okay, this person was a drug dealer and he changed, and now he's a multi-billionaire. You know what I'm saying? But it's not looking at all the lives that you possibly corrupted based on actions that you were taking in your own community to, you know, doing things to your own people. That's the. I think it always been that way. You know, that's just my thoughts in that.
Of course. I mean, you have to look at the major influence and how it's really affecting us. Like we turned a blind eye to a lot of things. It ain't just streets got the rap game. It's influence on a lot of things. How you raise your kids. You know, now you raise your kids. Some of these people, you know, not everybody. You know, they go to the schoolhouse, as you know, us old folks say. They go to the schoolhouse. They feel they can just talk to a teacher any type of way, whether they're not even an adult. You know, but your child is influenced because they feel like they can do that. You know, you're not teaching your kids accountability. Now you're a child. You stay in a child's place. I'm not saying all parents, but you know, you found a few that it's plaguing it. It's like it's cool to be ratchetified. And y'all all know we come from where the ratchet started. And then now I'm gonna hit you with something different. It ain't just out there. It's influencing to the church. I heard somebody tell me today to my man, I'm ratchet and righteous. I told you a lie. You ain't no ratchet and show me in the Bible to say ratchet and righteous. It. You can't tell me nothing like that. We don't hold no. We only hold a standard if it affects our household, not our community no more, not our neighbors, not just us. Period. If a person step outside or hurt a person of color, now we got a standard. Now we got a moral. Now we got to stand on something. But if I hurt that man across the way, it's all good. If I disrespect a woman, it's all good. That's been going on for years. If a woman disrespect a man, it's all good. What's been going on for years. We're not setting the bar higher. We're not saying, hey man, you know, let's change something. Let's change the way we do things. Let's change the way we see things. Let's change the way we act accordingly sometimes. Let's stand up for one another even pouring out 8 minutes, that's not let them influence us. Let's not let people see us. Let's let somebody see us in a different light. We just talked about this censorship. You can pull up on YouTube and say how many black men dying. I'm not saying you can put up mother folk, but I'm just saying. That's why I
I
say it's a trip, folks. It's a trip.
I get it, and I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Do y'all, or y'all can tell if y'all agree or disagree? Do you think the standard in the black community is status and going viral? Is that our current status in the black community?
I
think it's
believe so.
8 things. Go
You
ahead.
can go. Sorry.
I was gonna say I think it's an age thing, but it's some of us that want our age group too that wants to go viral. So yeah, I'm gonna have to agree and say yes. Like everybody want their moment, like the status. I want to be known. I want to go viral. I want the fame, but nobody wants to. I call it the popcorn generation. Nobody wants to work for it. They want everything instantly, however it comes by any means necessary, whether that means they have to do the lowest of low. If it get them that little 15 minutes of fame, they okay with it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
Ladies,
I agree.
I think
I
someone wanted to
agree.
say something. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt. I thought somebody else wanted to say something.
yeah. Yeah, I agree with the lady.
Yeah.
I mean, we have this thing where if we seen by a certain individual, that makes us of importance. Uh, we have this thing where if we have so many people watching and following, we just as famous as being in Hollywood.
Hmm.
Just love the, I guess, the attention spirit, as I like to call it.
Yep. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of like I don't know who it was, but a lot of actors and actresses are feeling um like the Instagram models and the social media influencers are basically taking over their lane, so to speak. Like you don't have to have a craft anymore. There's no more theatrical training or any skill set to be in their world because you could just get on social media and create content and be just as famous as them.
Yeah. 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 I agree. I'm not even gonna fake. I want my 15 minutes of fame. But it's all about what I do with it afterwards. I must say I'm in this. I understand. I've done some research through the years on how everything and why everything the way it is, and I feel like in order to make a change, you must revert back, go to where the root of the problem is in order to correct the problem. So we have to get sometimes low to kind of see where we're headed, and that's kind of where I'm at. A lot may not understand it, but I have a goal in mind, and like I said, what I'm doing is strategic. A lot don't understand, but my results are gonna show what I've been working on, and I know I'm success or anything. I mean, it's a lot of steps to this, and I just feel like I'm not trying to get off the subject or anything. I'm still in that community. It's just I feel like you sometimes have to make a name for yourself. No one's gonna listen to someone that's not of any influence or not. What have you done for me lately or anything like that? You know.
Mm.
So, but I feel like in order to reach someone, it takes resources. And what takes resources? I'm the type now. I can't go back and work for no one right now. I have to work for myself because I see how the world is going and what things are getting ready to take place. So I was like, okay, I need a way to. You guys may not agree, but I know that's why we all here. To talk about certain things because certain situations may appear for other, for other people as well. So I'm taking this time out to get my story out, to get what I can out, and my influence. What I'm trying to do is like, okay, I have kids that understands what I'm doing. They're making sacrifices, but I'm looking beyond just my household. I have a community to feed. I don't want to be one of those ones get the 15 minutes of fame and forget all about where they come from and don't do anything but try to be honest, guys, I'm trying to grind to disappear, not be seen, so to speak. And when I say disappear, not meaning to disappear far as in the limelight, letting, the Hollywood take over me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that that's all going to take place, but I'm not of a fame person. I just know to get the resources, know where it's at. Because we're living in a world where sex, drugs, rock and roll rules the nation.
Any questions, y'all, for Miss Matilda
I
about what
just hope
she's
I didn't get
saying?
off the subject.
I get what she's saying.
Yeah,
Don't get it misconstrued.
I
Uh,
got
my question I would ask. Now I get it that through the financial backings, because in social media you can make some, some, I can, do your little thing or whatever.
yeah.
Okay, I don't knock that hustle. I can't knock a person how they make their bread. But my question to you would be, what do you feel about the influence of you that's just beyond your household, but for other young ladies, and how you think that influence on young ladies will affect the way the young men will view them?
Okay, it goes back to being real and being true to yourself first. So I can't tell, it comes back to that. I had to be real with myself first
All right,
and be comfortable and feel, free. And that way I'm freely to give my story and give what I feel.
right, okay, I understand that.
Yeah. And it all starts within.
I understand that completely.
Yeah. Because I believe that experience is the best teacher. I have a group of cousins, female girls that I tell them, hey, don't ever do what you see me do. I know that we are monkey see, monkey do type shit sometimes, but please, I know what I'm doing. You may not can take what I'm doing. I can take it. I know what I'm doing.
okay.
So,
So you say that, but you're there with your cousins or your nieces. But what about the girls that don't have the aunt? I'm sorry, I missed your name. I apologize for the first segment, y'all. My baby is sick, but and I can't see. Is it Matilda?
it's Matilda. You can say
Melita,
Matilda.
I'm sorry. So what about the girls that don't have the Aunt Melita or the Aunt Mo or the Aunt Holly or the Uncle Q or the Uncle D to say, I know you're seeing these things, but this isn't what, like, they just, the person in the limelight is the only influence they have, whether negative or positive. And I'm,
Mhm.
again, I'm not judging. Although
Mhm.
Q said we should judge, I'm not judging. I'm just trying to understand. You said you're going somewhere financially, but there are so many other lanes that you could do these things in.
I understand. So I see the influence that I have in the financial aspect. It's just me. The influence that I have. I'm trying to reach a broader type of audience, and the ones that do not have the Aunt Melitas or something. It all that's what I'm working on. So it started recently within like what I really wanted to do and what and it started within me. And I'm just, we just I'm here.
And I think, and I just want to intervene. I think, like, because I know some of the story, and for those that are watching and listening,
Mhm.
I know the story because we've discussed this. And I know it's maybe tough. And I have to commend you, Melita, for even, you know, I appreciate you coming on the platform to actually discuss this with us. So I know there's a story behind this story, and I think
I
it will be
can
a
hear
greater
the missing
understanding.
pieces. Like I want to ask, but I could tell it's like maybe something she's not ready to share on this
Right.
Yeah.
platform. But I can hear the missing pieces.
Right. And that's that, and I guess that's the I guess the this part, you know, and that's I get it. You know, like Q said, like I get it as well. And like I said, I guess I don't know how to pose a question to you to I guess maybe get you just to share a little bit so to have
Hmm.
a more of an understanding. But you know, like you said, judgment comes in all shapes, forms, sizes. It doesn't matter
Hmm.
what you do or say, there's gonna be judgment. And like, you know,
Hmm.
my thing is, you know, you do what you do. You gotta do what's best for you. Like Q said, that's what people do. We do what's best for us. You know, we have to take care of our household and the people who live with us. And at the end of the day, people on the outside don't care if we live or die. And that's the truth. But you know, like I said, we gotta do what's best for us. So I mean, I get it, and so I commend you for even opening up for the discussion. But I mean, if possible, if you can give us just a little bit more, so maybe I guess it will be. Am I y'all with me, guys, ladies,
Yeah.
Holly?
Look, it's so much, guys, and it's so much to share, and it's kind of like I wanted to kind of go to the beginning, like how, and I can go more in depth, but we ain't got a lot of that time.
Nah, we don't. Y'all got to
Because
make sure y'all watch before the vision
yes,
tomorrow. But
yes.
I guess for the to get some of the answers to the question, I wish there
Get
was a
some of
way
the
we could.
answers because I could be bouncing around, guys. This is kind of the first. So just excuse me if I'm bouncing around questions. I'm not trying to avoid anything. It's just right now it's a lot. And I kind of want to just kind of stair step it and go in order with it, not bounce everywhere. But if you have questions, I have answers. So it's
Ladies, Holly,
Ye-
okay.
What's going on with?
I want to see if you had a question before we move on to close out this show. I want to
Basically,
No,
make
I
sure
don't have.
make sure everybody get the opportunity. Q is. Do you have any closing statements? Oh, I'm sorry.
who
My
is this
bad. Q. 1
person?
second.
Who is shady?
Well, y'all, you hear his voice in a minute. Trust me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to. We
There it
we
is.
having
There
some
it is.
difficulties, so we have to kind of eliminate those difficulties so we can make sure everybody hear what's going on. Q, you have any closing statements?
No, I just want to thank. I cracked Joe. I just want to. I enjoyed myself. This is a great topic of discussion. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Uh, I still want to know: do everyone think Willis is a clown? You can say, just tell me yeah, and I can feel better. So I won't. I don't want to think that I know he's a clown.
Hey, sir. I don't know
Nobody
what's
agree
Why
wrong
do
with you, sir.
you? Why do you feel that way?
because let me tell y'all, I've been dealing with this brother for Lord knows how long. You know what I mean?
and
Y'all
on
don't
the
have to
next
deal with what I get to
episode,
deal. Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with him, y'all. I don't have a clue. But like I say, once again, this has been your show. Like tomorrow, make sure you tune in. Like I say, I will have Miss Melita, also known as Matilda, in the building, and we will get that story about what you know how she became the person who she is today. And like I said, once again, I really appreciate you. We appreciate you coming on our platform, discussing our topics of discussions with us, and giving your personal insight on what it is. And for those that are watching, those that are listening, you already know every Monday you get the crew. If you don't get the crew, you get someone else and fill in with the crew. But we coming with it every Monday at 9 o'clock from 9 to 10 p.m. If there isn't anything further, ladies and gentlemen, this has been your show. We go holla.
Holiday.
until next week.
Talking to you guys.
Yeah, it's been a